Good morning, everybody. We are here today to introduce you some products that we launched recently in the Elco line and which have some interesting features that we would like to illustrate to you. The first one is a signal converter, and the other two are two temperature controllers. Quite different shape and size, but different functions as well. The signal converter is actually new for us, not in the field of the signal converter itself. We have a complete line of those products, but this is new because it's not only programmable by dip switch, which is quite useful when you have the product in stock and then you deliver it to customer and you can program it, or he can program it easily. It's also programmable by PC, but moreover the new model can be programmed by near field communication. So all you need is a smartphone and our Android app to connect it directly for the programming. Easy and quite interesting. The second one that we're talking about today is a temperature controller, which is 48 by 48 millimeter, typical square configuration. But look at this. It's only 35 millimeters wide. So if you have a very limited space, this is a good option. It has a very interesting price as well. So it will be quite interesting for your customers because it's very cost effective for what it does. It's PID or on-off with two outputs. The only difference that we have is you have to choose between a 24 volt or a 240 volt power supply. There's just basically two versions. PT100 at NTC and PTC input. The third one is another temperature controller, quite different as you can see. This is a modular version where you can actually connect more modules together, up to 16, through this connectable, pluggable part in the back. And when you have the first one, which is, for example, with the optional Ethernet connection, all the others can be connected together, and via the Ethernet connection, you can go to an operator panel or to a PLC and have all the programming that you want. It comes with integrated PID already programmed, so you don't need to pay the extra cost that you would when you buy a module from the typical temperature controller model of the PLC manufacturer, because it already has all the PID that you need. Very interesting feature as well. It does have pluggable connectors, and these pluggable connectors, they have also the plug-in spring connection to make it easy for you to install. So my colleague Daniele will show you now all the technical features about these products, and I will pass it on to him. Thank you very much for your attention in the next few minutes.
Hello everybody, I'm Daniele Cavaliara, the technical manager of Elco. Now I'm going to introduce you the new TSEN, the signal converter with the new feature that is the possibility to program it through the NFC. Okay, now I'm going to tap the app. This is the first screen you will find. Here we select the NFC search. The device is ready to read the NFC device. Here you can see the action you can choose. You can configure the device or read the value it is reading in this moment. Now I'm going to choose configuration. In that moment, the smartphone has already received all the information from the TSEN. Here you can see the input signal, the input range, and the two output range of the two different output port we have on board. You can select the range of the 420 mA output and also the range you want on the 0-10 voltage output. We also have the ER filter that allows to introduce a software filter to reduce the disturb you can have from the field. Last configuration we have here is the wire brake alarm, where I can choose if I want the 0 mA and 10.5 voltage, or otherwise the 24 mA and or 11 voltage. Now I'm going to change a value, maybe put this one to 0. I need to connect another time the smartphone to the TSN, and now I can write down the value. At that point, we can go to verify if it is already written down. As you can see, now we found the 0 as a start scale. The only feature where you need the power supply is in the case you want to read the value the device is getting from the field. In that case, you need to have the power supply connected. Here you can see a single value getted from the device. This can be useful to verify if the probe is correctly connected and well working. Another interesting feature is that you can set it up with the NFC also without any power supply connection. In that case, you can see the device as you are going to receive from us with his own box. I'm going to read it with the NFC, select the configuration, and define the new value I want to set up. I can write it down, and the device is ready to be sold or sent to maybe your customer that need a specific configuration. The second product we are going to show you is the Elco4C, that is a temperature controller. As you can see, compared to our ELK-M4, the main difference you can see is the depth of the device. The ELK-M4 is the most complete product we have. The new one I'm going to show you is thought for basics application. Very thin, has the possibility to read probes, thermocouples, PT100, and we have on board 2 relay output. Another interesting feature of this product is the plug-in terminal. We have to connect it. Now I'm going to show you the connection and a couple of points about programming. It is the programming mode is very easy. With the button P, you can start the programming. Here you can see an example of one parameter, Autumn. With the arrow up and down, you can change the value of this parameter. With P, you can confirm and go on with the other parameters of the same group. Also, you can return to the previous one with the back arrow. If you want to change the group of parameters, another long press of the button P allows to change the parameters group. This one is the first one of the second group, and then, as already shown, you can change the value, go back, scroll the other parameters, and so on. This is the easy way to program this kind of temperature controller. The third product we are speaking about is the ELK22MP, that is a modular temperature controller. It is of an higher level than the previous one we have shown you. Here we have the possibility also for this one to work with the PID regulation or on-off regulation. We also have up to 3 outputs. The first one, the second one are relay output. The third one is a digital pin that can be set also as a regulation output that in the case of this application we are using to drive the solid state relay to show you a specific application. The best features of this device are about connectivity. On the back side we have a data bus on the DIN rail that is studied to carry the two RS485 we have on board. The first one, RS485, is an optional, that is a standard Modbus communication. Then the second one is used for the communication with the single display that we have here. With only one display we can drive up to 16 devices. Now I'm going to show you how we can select which one of the controller we are speaking with. With the first button we can show you the address of the device, the second one or the first one. In that case the first one has no probe connected, so it is showing an error. We go back to the second one. With the fourth button we can select it, and now we have a direct connection between the display with the second one, ELK22MP. Now I'm going to show you something about programming. With a long pressure of the fourth button we start the setting. In that case we have only one group of programs, so with the arrow we can go up and down, and we are able to see all the parameters we need to set. Now I'm going, for example, to count that define the kind of regulation. With the enter I can select the parameters. Now with the rim let it up, it means that the parameter is selected. I can change the value of this parameter. With enter I confirm it. When I have completed the programming procedure, a long pressure of the first button is to end the procedure. As conclusion of a programming topic, through the display we are also able to define a scroll function that show you for 3 seconds each one ELK22MP you have connected on the bus. This one can be useful to monitor the function of maybe a machine with more than one devices on board with only one display. Another thing we can do is to protect each one parameter with a password to create an operator and a configuration access to the programming. Another thing about the connectivity, on request we are able to provide the ELK22MP with Ethernet port. On this one you will be able to monitor the complete bus of instruments and also set up them as we have already seen on the panel control.